We had drummers around town, Bob Cousins being one of them. I got a record once when I was in high school, I think, and I bought it because Frank Chase was on it. It was called Chicago Jazz Reborn. Dave Remington put it together, and Bob Cousins was the drummer. Bob was from somewhere in New York State, if I'm not mistaken, part of the Salt City Six gang. And he came to Chicago with that band and decided to stay in Chicago. Went to work for some a day job having to do with high-end, high-fidelity equipment, I believe. But he always played, and he was a good player. As I recall, he was a left-handed player. But he knew how to kick a band along. Good player. Which, of course, reminds me of Barrett Deems. Now, Barrett, after he left the Louis Armstrong Band, he moved to Evanston, Illinois. There was a place called the Red Arrow, where Franz Jackson played for a long time. Brunis had the band in there for a while, and then some of us younger persons started playing there off and on. Well, the guy that ran it decided he wanted to bring Barrett in and feature him, and that was fine with Barrett. I was living in Evanston at the time, so I got the job of picking Barrett up, once again, not letting him drive, and taking him to a rehearsal. So we got there to rehearse and walked in, and the band that had been set up for him contained a banjo and a tuba, not Barrett's favorite instruments at all. He was quite unhappy with it. And so basically all he did for the whole, he played the job, but all he did for the whole night was play press rolls. Now, nobody could play him any better than Barrett, but that's not what people came to hear. It was Barrett Deems playing press rolls, but that's what he did. So that was the end of that band, at least as far as having Barrett in there is concerned. Gene Mayo had Barrett with him from time to time. We were in some place in Oklahoma, out in the middle of nowhere once, and it was Sunday at noon, or Saturday at noon, and Barrett needed something to eat. So we found this place was really packed. You know, everybody from miles around was there. And Barrett said, I don't understand this. This place would never make it in New York or Chicago. We had to explain to Barrett, these people don't want to make it in New York or Chicago. But he also, one night we were in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. He was hungry. And he said, I want to stop at that place and get something to eat. And we said, Barrett, you go ahead. We'll wait in the car. We didn't want to take the chance of going in there with Barrett. So he got something to eat, and he came out and he says, I don't understand. They sure don't like us Northerners down here in Oklahoma. Well, they didn't like Barrett, and you had to be there, I guess, actually, to know how he could rub people the wrong way. But he could certainly play. He would come around and sit in with bands, and whoever the drummer was would have been doing a pretty nice job. But when Barrett came in, he just lifted the band even more. I can't explain it, but there was something about his playing that did that. So excellent player, strange guy, excellent player. People always said he drinks a lot. He never drank anything. He didn't need to drink anything. That was just him. Let's see, where are we now?
Drummers.
Well, I'm not sure who else I want to say anything about.
What about Wayne?
Well, Wayne and I were very good friends. I don't know that I need to say anything about Wayne. You know, he after he stopped playing is when I really realized how really good he was, you know, because we get these other guys that would sit in for him, and they just didn't do the stuff that he did. It's hard. He just knew what to do and wanted to do it, and there's no two ways about it. He might not have been the show-off drummer, that some of these other guys were, but you didn't need him to do that. So that's, I can't say a whole lot more about Wayne except he's hard to replace.